So it was 2011 and I joined a team where they were pretty much told to do Scrum before I joined. And what occurred to me was that this team were turning up to the daily stand-up and they were really disconnected from it. It felt like to me that they were there because they simply had to be there because they were told to use a daily stand-up. My reaction to this was, like many Scrum Masters, I wanted to understand if they knew what the why was behind the daily Scrum or stand-up. It's there as a forum where you guys can update one another towards, your progress towards a sprint goal. Is anything getting in your way? Are we identifying opportunities to help one another if we're stuck on certain things? Has scope changed whereby we can manage risk, provide transparency, so on and so forth? I quickly became frustrated, and that resulted in me at the time thinking I was doing the right thing by calling them out as unprofessional. And so, I put it forward to them and I said, you guys know the why of the daily Scrum, you know why we're doing it, we know what the benefit is, but yeah, you guys are not turning up full of beans, you're not excited about it. It feels like I've got to be looking for people to bring you along to it, and it's not a meeting for me, and you guys know this, right? This is your thing. And no matter what I did, I just couldn't get these guys connected to it. Now, thinking back to that time, I recognised that some of the literature that I had read around Scrum and different practitioners in the field, using words like shock therapy Scrum or Scrum with a bootstrap, I found that my approach could be more than assertive, and it could be aggressive, in fact. And there was nothing more important than, adhering to the Scrum rules. And often, helping people play a game with rules is not the problem, it's more your approach to it. And so I did something radical, and that was to tell the team that I had no interest in a daily Scrum myself, and since it wasn't for me, and you guys are getting a benefit out of it, why don't we stop it altogether? So they were surprised, and then that resulted in the team deciding to not run the daily Scrum themselves. Well, that happened for about a good, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. And it felt like a little bit of a controlled car crash, because when it came to the retrospective and we spoke about the things that we found out very late on, the transparency that we lost out on, and sometimes a little bit of camaraderie that came with the daily Scrum, as disconnected as they were, the team decided that they would like to have some form of a huddle or a daily Scrum, but only once or twice a week. Now, whether that breaks the rules of Scrum or not, the point is, if we've explained the why and people understand the purpose theoretically, sometimes it's not enough. And so, rather than calling it out as unprofessional and expecting people to adhere to rules, it's important to allow people to experience what happens when we don't use certain things. You may have the awareness for the benefit of the daily Scrum, but you don't have the desire. And when you allow things to maybe go wrong, and you experience that firsthand, that can be a powerful driver, in you as a team member wanting to turn up and really engage in a forum that is yours. And that's really my learning from that.